motion. Little sweet.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So guys, let me quickly show you how to make this beautiful off-shoulder dress for a 1-year-old. So I'll start by placing measurements on the upper bodies of the dress. So the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 8.5 inches, and on fold it's 4.25 inches. So I'll mark that out, and 2 inches for the neckline. I'll also mark that out, and at the shoulder measurement point I'll come down by 1/2 inch, which is for the shoulder slope, and from that 1/2 inch I'll be marking my armhole measurement. The armhole measurement that I'm working with is 4.25 inches. So I'll also measure that out and connect with a straight line. Then after that, I'll connect my shoulder slope. I'll make a slant from that neckline to the 1/2 inch mark that I made earlier on. And after that, I'll measure the same thing I have on the armhole side, which is 4.25 inches plus 1/2 inch for the slope. So that will be a total of 4.75 inches. I'll measure that out, and on that line I'll be placing my chest measurement. The chest measurement I'm working with is 22 inches. Divided by 4 is 5.5. I'll be adding 1/2 inch to that, which is 6.5. So I'll measure that and place that on the fabric as well. So for the armhole curve, I'll get the midpoint of my armhole measurement from the shoulder slope down to my chest measurement line. So I'll get the midpoint, and at that point I'll go in by 1/2 inch and connect it to the chest measurement, and that way I've created my armhole curve. For the off shoulder, I'll be using 3 inches. So I'll measure that out and connect to the armhole side, and then the full measurement for the upper bodies of this dress is 8.5 inches. I'll add 1 inch to that, making 9.5 inches. So I'll measure that out and connect with a straight line. And after that, I'll also be placing the same measurement I placed at the upper part of the bodies, which is 6.5 inches. I'll place that on the waist measurement. And for the front of my off shoulder, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. So I'll measure that out and connect it to the armhole. So I'll just make a slight curve to that 1 inch. And for the back neckline, I'll measure out 2 inches from that off shoulder point. I'll measure that out and also connect it with the curve. So, and after that, I'll trace out what I've measured and cut it out. This is the satin fabric that I'll be using to make this gown. I'll place this satin on the lace fabric and cut out the same thing that I have already cut out. So I'll cut the back into 2, then place this on the fabric and cut out the same thing that I have cut out on the satin.
You were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass.
I finished cutting that out, so now let's start sewing. So I'll take both the satin and the lace fabric and join them on the 2 sides. I'll do the same thing to both of them. I'll join both of them on the 2 sides separately, and after that I will show you the next thing to do. So I finished joining them by the sides. What I'll do next is to iron the seams open, and after that I'll take the 2 of them to the machine and join them with the front sides facing each other. So I'll join from the neckline to the armhole to every part that is open. I'll join everything and leave only 1 inch space for me to turn out. So I have done that already, but before turning out, I'll make sure that I notch all the curved edges, which is the armhole and the necklines. So I finished notching and now I'll turn it out. So make sure to use something not so sharp to push out all the pointed areas when you're turning out. Push them all out, and after that I'll iron it properly. I'll iron it very well so it will be so relaxed. And after turning out, I'll also make sure to close up that 1 inch space that I left. I'll close it, then iron properly. So now that I'm done with that, I'll set this aside and move over to the lower part of the dress. So for the lace fabric, I cut 11 inches by 48 inches, and for the satin fabric, I cut 10 inches by 48 inches. I cut 2 pieces of the satin fabric. So for the lace fabric and the satin fabric, reason why I cut them by 48 inches is because the upper bodice of the dress is 24 inches, so I doubled it to make the gathers. I'll gather one part of the satin fabric to the lace fabric, and I'll also be using hard net for this dress to give it a little bit of volume. So I'll show you when I'll be using this and how I'll attach it to the dress. So what I'll do now is to take the lace fabric and the satin fabrics to the machine and hem them, and after that I'll iron it properly before gathering it to the dress.
Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength.
So I've done that. I finished hemming them and I also ironed it properly. So what I'll do now is to gather one of the satin fabric together with the lace. I will gather it with my needle and thread so I can show you how to do that. I'll gather that. You can also do that on your machine if you want. I'll gather it to 24 inches, which is the measurement of my upper bodies. And after that, I'll take it to the machine and attach it to the upper bodies. I'll make sure that the gathers are equal, and after that I'll come and show you what next to do.
From hitting the ground and every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite.
So I'm done with that and I'll set it aside. Now let's attach the hard net to the second satin fabric. So the hard net measurement is 5 inches, and I'll split it to the satin fabric from 2 inches down. As you can see, I just measured 2 inches and pleated it to the satin fabric. What I'll do now is to place the satin fabric like this. Just watch what I'm doing because you will understand better. So I'll use this satin fabric, the front side facing the upper bodies of the dress, and then attach it to the dress. But I will be using kissing pleats. If you want, you can gather it to the dress, whichever way. Just attach it to the dress, and after that I'll flip it over so it can cover the rough edges, and also that way the hard net will have an effect. It will give the gown volume. If you want this hard net to give the gown more volume, you can gather it to the satin, so it will give the gown more volume. So I've done that, and can you see how it looks? It looks so good. So what I'll do now is to iron it properly, and after ironing I'll be left with just adding zip to the dress, and after adding zip to the dress I'll then face the sleeves. So I will attach zip to the dress using the 1.5 inch zipper allowance that I left, and after that, look at how the dress looks. So now I'll attach the sleeves to the dress. So for the sleeves, I measured my daughter's round off shoulder measurements, and subtracted the necklines, both the front and the back, and I was left with 10 inches. So 10 inches divided by 2 is 5 inches. So that means I'll be needing 5 inches for the two sleeves. So but me, I want to gather I want to gather the sleeves. So I'll be using this fabric, which is 24 inches, and unfold is 12 inches. This is just me going extra. You can use anything from 10 inches upwards, depending on how full you want the gathers to be. So the length of the sleeve is 3 inches, but I added 1 inch to that, making 4 inches, and to the other end is 2 inches, because I added also 1 inch to that, because that's supposed to be 3 inches by 1 inch. So but I added 1 inch to that, so it's now 4 inches by 2 inches. So I'll make a slight curve connecting that 4 inches to the 2 inches, and after that I'll cut it out and place it on the fabric, on the lace fabric, and cut the exact thing.
From hitting the ground, and every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. And when I fall to be, you be there when I wait to say, a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep.
So I'll take this to the machine now and sew it all around, leaving 1 inch space to turn it out after sewing. I'll do the same to the second one, and after that I'll iron it properly and show you the next thing to do. So I have done that. I have also ironed it and also closed up the 1 inch space that I left for turning it out. So what I'll do now is to gather it to 5 inches, because the sleeve measurement is 5 inches. So I'll gather this fabric to 5 inches on both of them, and after that I will attach it to the dress, and the dress will be ready. So I'll do that and show you how the dress looks.
This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. And when I fall to be, you be there when I
So I've attached the sleeves on both sides. What's left now is to give the dress a very good press. I'll iron it properly and it is ready. Can you see how beautiful it looks?
You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop.
Can you see how neat it looks on the inside as well? I made sure to cover up all the rough edges. Even on the zipper side, I covered all the rough edges. So if you've watched this video up until now and you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment if you have any question, and please, when you subscribe, don't forget to turn on the bell so that whenever I have a new video, you'll be notified. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for always supporting. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.